the past 4 years in the U.S. has been, I mean, it's been more difficult. I think it's more difficult now because of the pandemic that has hit us. And I think that that pressure of the pandemic really puts an emphasis on leadership. And I think that's one thing that in the United States right now, it's it's so divided. I mean, I have a very good friend here living in Germany. We discuss politics almost daily. He's from Texas, and obviously Texas is a red state traditionally. I'm from the West Coast, traditionally blue states. And we have a great dialogue, and I think that needs to be taken place more. And I think Donald Trump in the last 4 years has made it um, almost a politically violent situation where there is only one division, there is only one side, and there's only another side. There's nothing wrong with me being a Democrat voting for a Republican. I have no problem doing that. And it should be the same way on the other side. There should be no problem with a Republican voting for a Democrat. I think the important thing is that Americans are voting for America and in the best interest of our country and our democracy. And I think the last 4 years of Donald Trump has caused a huge divide in between. And that's part of the reason why he got elected. He has this base and he has this following, and he has, in 2016, that really made it so that it's one side or the other. You don't want this side because of this, and this, for these reasons. And I hope that America sees through that a little bit in this next election, finds out what is really best for each individual's thoughts and feelings on what America should be and represent. And my thoughts are very different because I live here in Europe. I see the United States maybe from a little bit different perspective, and I do try to share that with my friends and family back home.
As a businessman, he's brilliant. He's a shark. He's intelligent on that aspect. But as far as as people are concerned, I feel like he doesn't have most people in his best interests. Just the businessman. Basically, because of wealth and class. Of course, I mean it was always an issue before, but now it's becoming more of an issue because again, I feel like the current president only caters to the businessman, but racially as well, with all uh, the different cases and violence and police brutality that's been happening, and I've had also conversations with friends about it, saying my take on it is how can you support this man when he's basically showing that he doesn't care about people of my color or whatever, things like that. And then it immediately would become a thing of wealth and class, and the issues getting confused. And these are close friends that I've known for years who may be a different race, and you end up having these issues and debates.
Well, it would mean that the United States would continue on the path that it is right now, which I don't think is a good one. I think it's a path of division. I think we have many problems, not just the pandemic. I think we have social unrest, Black Lives Matter, the right and left, gun laws, the Supreme Court situation. And if Joe Biden wins, I really do feel that he's the right guy for the country right now. But I do feel that he is, I think, 78 years old, 76 years old. I think he will be a one-term president with Kamala Harris as his running mate. I do feel that is a younger generation that she can represent and may lead into new leadership in the future for the United States.
As a nation, if Trump is elected, I think it'll further divide the country because, like I said, as a people person, it's difficult for a lot of people here. Like I said, I feel like he really only caters to the businessman and not the person, and is dividing the nation. Economically, I can't really say how if things are going to improve or not. But that's just my take, what I think. And I think if Biden is elected, I'm sure things will may change on the other end economically, but the people will may come together more. My close family and friends, it's just been a lot with the police activity and the violence and like the communities. That's kind of, I mean, it's always been an issue, but with all of the like the media and everything blowing up in the last years or so more, it's been a lot more intense. And my mom is actually in law enforcement, so I get both sides of it all the time, and that's been like the most extreme change, like just to be more careful and watch how you move and things like that for my friends and that are still living there. The increase and the violence and all of the cases, brutality and everything, I think it's going to impact the election heavily. A lot of African Americans and Latinos didn't really vote this last election, and um, just as they did the previous election when Barack Obama was elected. And I think that's going to change. Like now, a lot more people, a lot of black and brown people will vote. Uh, the only thing I'm not sure of is that Trump has given a lot of money to the minority uh, communities. So I'm not sure completely if people are thinking like, okay, if I don't vote him again, am I going to get this same lump sum of money that I've been receiving, or like how is that going to be affected? I've been following a bit because I'm very curious like what's going to happen. Just basically over the internet and like CNN whenever I can. But I'm gonna, I guess, follow over the next days to see what's happening and how how the numbers change. Like now that, like I said, I think the black and brown community are gonna come out to vote a lot more this election. So that's what I'll be curious to see.
I'll follow it. I'll keep it on the news feed. I'll watch it on the news, but it's not like I'm going to be up 24/7 saying, "Hey, this is going to rule and run my life." Whether or not Donald Trump is president or Joe Biden is president, life is going to go on. Um, it might be harder in some ways for some people, and it may affect us. But we all have things to think about, to live, to work. We have family and all that kind of stuff.